has got the facts for you. EX the storyteller, bringing the spark. No one does it better. EX, you've heard the rest, but she's the best. Yeah, she's the best. Oh.
Yes.
You're welcome. So Black Americans does not mean African/Caribbean, Indigenous, Black American, American Negro, ADO. What's ADOS on?
American descendants of slavery.
Okay, FBA, Saloni, all of these terms are similar. You cannot be a Black American if you are an immigrant, any other ethnic groups from Africa, Caribbean, not a descendant of a slave. So are you saying that just because you African Caribbean, you don't consider yourself Black?
No, technically, they're not Black American or African
So
American.
do you know that the Caribbeans was in? Do you know that the Caribbean is in America?
Yeah, but we don't do the whole Americas. We do United States of America, right?
What you saying? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And for the longest time, they were doing it too until recently. I'm going to say maybe in my attention, right, it's come down to the last 2 to 3 years. So if you meet, and people keep saying, BX, the 1990s is not the 2000s. So if you met somebody who recently migrated here or even was here for a long time in the 1990s, you'd say, are you Black? And they'd be like, no, I'm Jamaican. No, I'm Haitian. No, I'm this. No, I'm that. In recent times, they've been relying heavily on saying they're Caribbean. But if they want to be a contrarian, they say, well, there's so many islands in the Caribbean, be specific. This is what they told us for years. Now, with the height of reparations movements and asking for things based off of lineage, they're saying that they're Black too. So what it seems like to me is they are going by race, right? Race and nationality. But here in America, we use ethnic groups. And if you look at all the things, just do some research on your own. See all the scholarships they have for being Caribbean. They have a Chamber of Commerce for being Jamaican or Haitian. They have a Caribbean caucus. They have a Haitian caucus and an African immigrant caucus. Hey, Dread. So, I mean, if they have all these things, because Caribbean is technically their lineage, right? They could say they're Caribbean American and that would fly. If they say they're Haitian American, that would fly. And if they say well, not African American, because we were reclassified to that. But if they say Nigerian American, Ghanaian American, stuff like that, purple, that would fly. And they would get things specifically for them. They have
So let me ask you a question. Let's just say because we heard it on plenty of lives. Let's just say if we had someone come on here right now, you know how you ask what's their ethnic group, whatever. So let's say if they say their mom is Nigerian. I don't know why we just keep saying Nigerian like that's the only country, but I'm just saying Nigerian. I don't know, but
that's because it's the most known, I guess.
Most known, yeah. So let's say if somebody say, okay, my dad is American and my mom is Nigerian, but they was born in America. Would they be considered African American or Nigerian American?
The fact that they have a parent who is either Black American, African, or no matter how they identify, right? Then they could choose to say that they're African American.
But see, you know what? See, on my panel, I've heard people saying they wouldn't be considered African American; they would be considered Nigerian American. But see how you said they could be considered African American or Nigerian American? That's the part that be confusing me.
Okay, so here's the thing. This talks about biracial people, right? I choose to let them identify as they wish. And then we go, you ever heard us say code? We're on code, we're off code. Then I would see if they're off code or on code. But as long as they have the foundational Black American parent, or even if they have a parent that identifies as American Indian, I think they have the right to identify as either or, but we have the right to accept or reject them within our circle. So if they're off code, then I wouldn't want them around me. I'd be like, yeah, you Nigerian American. No way you could be, speaking like that. But even with my own kids, because their father is Jamaican, I ask them periodically, what do they know about what's going on? Or they'll come to me like, Ma, why they treating us like that, not the other people? My son came home the other day, said, why is there a little Haiti in Brooklyn? They, for the most part, all of my children identify as Black American. I noticed that one of my children does not speak against Jamaicans, but he speaks against everybody else. So I said, well, what do you think about the Jamaicans? You know what they're doing, son? He said, Ma, I don't really have time for all of that because in real life, those people do not have that animosity in the street. He's more of my streetwise child, right? He knows a lot of people. He fights anybody. He said in real life, Jamaicans ain't really making no noise like that, like how they be doing on this app, that they're not fighters like that. But I think the thing that holds him back from talking about them the way I would is because he does have a connection to the island. He does love his grandmother. His father, their relationship is sometimey, but he loves his father for the most part. And so he doesn't want to really put down that part of him, but he does realize that even they be on this app capping. So I let by ethnic children and biracial children,
So would your kids be considered Jamaican American, or would they just be? Because I know Jamaicans in America too. So what? I know they probably don't say, "Oh, I'm Jamaican American." Somebody asks where they from, they're gonna say I'm from here, or they might say they Black American or whatever. But do your kids usually say Black American, they African American, or they just say they American?
a Black American. My oldest son, for a while before his granny died, he unalive, he was saying he's Black with Jamaican ancestry. But I raised my children, and we didn't have all this had to emphasize the American part. When we said we were Black or the Black community, we know it was us, especially in New York, because everybody was running around saying they're not Black, they're Dominicans, they're Puerto Ricans, they're Haitian, they're Jamaican, they're Nigerian, or they're African, but they was never standing on being Black or Black American. So this is fairly new to all of us. But now, all my children identify as Black American.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Hey, Angel. Thank you for gifting, Dread. So I think we're bi ethnics, and we have radical FBAs that's like, oh, you got to have for this and that to be Black
Right.
American or foundational Black American. Or what else they say? So we do have those people out there. For the most part, I'm not that. The only thing I don't like is when we know they're immigrants, right? And they'll lead with, well, I'm West Indian, or I'm Jamaican, or I'm Trinidadian. And then further in the conversation, they try to slip in, well, my parent is Black American. Well, you got to lead with what you are, honey. I'm going to take you as a West Indian. So I don't like the cosplaying or the fact that you don't have a foundational Black American parent in your home, but you want to say you're Black American. And you know what? I think it's the parents' fault, right? Because I was watching a video and this lady was talking about how her family is Caribbean. Hey, Kick. Her parents are Caribbean, but one day her and her auntie too, and her auntie was getting on her. And she was like, "You're dirty, you're nasty," because that's how Black Americans are, ma'am. Y'all are living in a whole Caribbean household. Why are you misidentifying your niece as Black American and then adding every trope there is about Black Americans to your niece? The Caribbean raised her. So the Caribbeans are the nasty, lazy, dirty ones if that's what your child is exhibiting. She's not Black American, not in the sense that they were trying to make it seem. So I let them decide purple, and then
From
you
there,
know,
yeah.
yeah, then it's up to their actions, and we do that with biracials who have one whitey parent, one Black parent.
Well, both my parents from America, so and all my family. I ain't seen, I ain't find no African on my tree. I mean, maybe I gotta dig some more. I mean,
Right.
even if I did find some, that's why I don't know why they think that we are ashamed to be African. Like, yo, if I found some type of low, even if it's 10% or something of African in my blood, that's fine. I don't get why they say, oh, y'all trying to run from y'all roots, or y'all fear to, well, for the FBA, they be like, y'all fear to be African. Like, that's not the case. Maybe I have to dig some more. Maybe I have to go a little deeper. I don't know. But for right now, I haven't found no African on my tree.
Right. Well, they say the Caribbean is closer to Africans than we are, right?
What's so
So,
funny? I know what a Black American look like.
mhm.
Of course, we know what an African look like. But like a Haitian, a Caribbean, when I'm walking the street, well, if I'm outside or something, I wouldn't know what they look like. I don't know, like their features. Like of course, I'm norm to American feature, a African feature. But that's why when someone come to my panel, I be like, "What's your ethnicity?" I be like, "Oh, cause you look like Kick right here." When she came to my panel one day, I thought she was Caribbean or something. I didn't even know she was Black American.
Right.
So, do you agree that we might have similar features?
Well, I think that sometimes we do, but there's still a distinction, right? For me, I could tell by their eyes for the Caribbean. It's something about their eyes that they have different, that makes them more distinct than us. Now, there's some I just wouldn't know. I'm not going to lie and say all of them have,
Right.
but there's some that I'd be like, oh, yeah, she Caribbean.
Yeah, you would know. Well, I know you would know what a Jamaican look like because your husband Jamaican. So I don't be really. I can't really tell from the features. Like,
TikTok over here, who in the hallway reporting? They say, please avoid promoting
really?
negative stereotypes and generalizations about other groups of people.
Wow.
Hmm.
Mm. People-
You heard that, Dred?
First, yeah, they
They
get on
gave
my
me a violation.
I don't recall us saying anything bad. I don't.
Right.
nerves. Man, they get
TikTok
on
so sensitive. That's the only thing I don't like about TikTok lives. Like they just so sensitive. Like
Hmm.
right. We on here talking like little kids, sounding crazy, unalived, grapes. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
I got to do better. It's ridiculous. But on the topic, I'm saying, hey, first of all, hey, y'all, peace, peace, peace.
Peace.
My good sisters in here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But dig this on the subject of phenotype. What I've noticed is that sometimes when you have like a Caribbean person that's looking American, sometimes they have like an American parent, one American parent, but they just claiming that Caribbean side because I don't know, maybe they feel more exotic by claiming their Caribbean side. But the reason that they really have an American phenotype is because they actually do have an American parent, but they don't be claiming their American side. You have guys like Costa Knott that try to, make it like the American side ain't nothing. If you don't have the Caribbean side, then you ain't talking about
Hey,
nothing,
hey, Black Royal.
you know. Um, but I can say that um I know somebody that's also from Baltimore, and she says that she's Haitian, and she looks straight up American. You know what I'm saying? She's from Baltimore, and she looks straight up American. Like if you looked at her, you would not be able to tell. She identifies as Haitian. You know what I'm saying? Her mom's side of the family is all down here in Texas, but she identifies as Haitian. She looks straight up American. So I get what you're saying, Purple. Out there in Baltimore, y'all got something going on with them Haitians. They be looking American.
I still think it's something in their eyes to
Yeah,
me.
The Haitians too.
Yeah. Well, I knew a Haitian girl, and she became a friend, right? But she was like migrant, like just came. I was in eighth grade, and she just migrated here and came into the eighth grade with us. So she was already older, and she was like one of the light skinned Haitians that have distinct features, like you just knew they weren't American.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I can definitely tell most Haitian women though. If there's something distinct, there's also something distinct about their skin tone. I've noticed some very, it's like there is a reddish undertone. It's slightly different. If you watch, I don't know if you watched that show called Love Island. There's this girl named Michelle, and I knew immediately that she was Haitian, just based off of like her skin tone and like you said, her eyes. She's when I tell you she's beautiful. She's like gorgeous. She's a gorgeous woman. They usually cast like these beautiful people to go on this island, this show, what I'm saying, a Love Island or whatnot. It's like in Fiji or whatnot, and they just like basically speed dating on an island. And when I saw her, like I was like, yeah, she pretty, but I can tell that she's Haitian. It was like immediately I could tell. There is like a reddish undertone to their skin. It's different than our undertone, and I don't know how to explain it. And just like her features, like you said, her eyes, it's something different about the eyes and the shape of her head. I was like, yeah, she Haitian, and sure enough, later on in the show, maybe like a couple months in, it came off she was Haitian.
Hmm.
I don't know what they look like. I just unless they tell me, because I don't. If it ain't American or like an African, I really can't tell what a Haitian and a Caribbean look like until they tell me. Cause I don't really have Haitian. Mommy. Oh, I do got a Haitian homegirl, but see, she look American. Mommy. So when she told me she was Haitian, I'm like, oh, all right, cool, wow, So, but I don't really know. I don't know what type of look they have. Like, is it a nose? Is it a lip? Is it an eye? I don't know. Like you said, BX, with for Caribbean, I think you said something about their eyes. Like I can't tell. Maybe because I don't pay attention enough to them. I don't know. Mom, I can pay attention. And in the DMV, it's a lot of immigrants over here. This is like the immigrant. I can pay attention. It's real high over here, but it's more like Africans than anything. So I know what they look like, of course,
Yeah.
but I can't tell what no Haitian or no Caribbean look like.
Yeah, it definitely depends on like who you've been exposed to. 'Cause like I said, I don't know if you heard me, but I know a girl who's Haitian, and she's from Baltimore, and she lives down here in Texas or whatnot, and she definitely has like an American phenotype. You know what I'm saying? I would have never guessed she was Haitian. Me myself personally. So I get what you're saying. Like I don't know if Baltimore got a bunch of like bi ethnic Haitians or something like that, and they just claim their Haitian side or whatnot. But I know somebody literally from Baltimore that's Haitian, and she has an American phenotype herself. But usually I can tell, like they had it's like a different type of forehead too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them be having.
Different
Haitians
type
that
of.
have like that brick shaped forehead. You got them two knots on the top. You know what I'm saying? They be having that brick forehead. You know what I'm saying? You got to look out for that brick forehead.
I can't believe they gave me talking about please avoid promoting negative stereotypes and generalizing. We can't
TikTok
even
is
talk
not a
about
negative
features.
stereotype. Right, that's not a negative stereotype. It's okay to have a brick forehead, TikTok. Chill out.
Oh, I had sent you a YouTube live. It's an interview. Her name is Thorough Black Talk, right? And she's on Twitter, but Twitter is migrating to TikTok, right? And she did an interview with Dr. C. So I know Dr. C because we're part of the ones who verify your lineage, right? That group there. Um, so she announced on her latest live with Dr. C that the Supreme Court issued down a ruling that they're going to be um, checking everybody's applications who would fall under using the 14th Amendment. And if anything is wrong with their applications, then. So, but what I meant to look into before I went live, hey, FBA champion, was to see if that is retroactive or if that's moving. It got to be retroactive somewhat, right? Because the new ones, if you have a child here and the parents aren't citizens, they're not covered under the 14th Amendment. So things are really changing. I think that pretty soon we're going to go back to the quota system with immigration.
Well, I think they need to. I think immigrants in this country have gotten out of hand to a certain degree because uh, what happened is the dominant society, instead of admitting that our people built this country, they gave all of the credit to quote immigrants. The immigrants built this country, and these people have gotten beside themselves. They have gotten beside themselves, and that's how we end up in a situation like what we have today, with the so-called diaspora wars and Black Americans saying, you know what, hold your own peanuts to the Hispanic and Latino people that are being deported. You know what I'm saying? Because we are tired of being overlooked, mistreated by people who just got here and that are claiming, you know, what our ancestors did, which is built this country. So, you know, maybe it's time to go back to that quota system. Y'all ain't coming in here. We met the quota. 50 of y'all done came into this country already this year. Get out of here.
You know what I think? I think you're right, but I think that when the whitey people say immigrants, they don't mean the melanated ones, even the Latinos, even if the Latinos aren't melanated. Because a lot of people, sometimes they'll remember whitey people are immigrants too. I don't
Yeah,
care how long they've been here. Even the Mayflowers, um, they're immigrants.
yeah,
So I think that when they try to say that immigrants built the country, they're talking, and they may even be talking about the Irish, but they're immigrants to this land. They ain't discovered nothing. They ain't find nothing. It was already here. There was people already here, so they're immigrants too.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're definitely including those Ellis Islanders, but I think they're also including the Latinos. Because whenever I hear the people who say that, it's usually like these popular Democrats, such as Joe Biden, who left the borders open to try to replace our black vote, our black voter base. Um, so, so they're definitely talking about Latinos too. You know, they're talking about them, and they're talking about those Ellis Island babies.
Yeah, they took the restriction away. Okay, purple. They took the restriction away. So this is because I have a segment called "Come Get It Off Your Chest." I don't have no set time as to when I'm gonna do the segment today. This is actually Ish's prompt, and I liked it, so I said let me take it. So if you have anything, and that segment's supposed to run for 30 minutes, and I've been live longer than 30 minutes. But if you have something that you would like to get off your chest, go ahead, now's the time. But don't promote negative stereotypes about other people because I don't need another
Right,
violation.
right.
Good morning, Basic. Oh, I just came off a live with white tea men about reparations.
Lord,
Uh-huh. It was
that makes
quite interesting, and FBA Primetime had to come up there because I was just like, we're talking, I'm like, one of the most marginalized groups in America has not gotten their reparative justice. He said, well, do you think you're more marginalized than the Arabics? And I went off, of course, you know. And
Lord.
then he'd start playing the victim. Oh, you don't like me because I'm white. Oh, I said, no. No, or you just don't like white tea people. I said, I don't like you. Don't say that I don't like white tea people. You know, I just don't like you. And you happen to be white tea. And you're up here when I'm talking about my people, bringing up another marginalized group when we have the history on this land, of building this land. Like, and then the last guest that I spoke to, I was like, "Do you like you?" When he was like, "Oh, so what about the Native Americans?" So I said, "Listen, the Native Americans got reparations. They also have a received one of the largest amounts under Obama." I said they have activists. I'm not Native American. I ain't active, you know, an activist for them. I don't care about whether they're going to get reparations or not. I'm talking about my people. I said, so let me explain this to you. The foundational people, the descendants of those who were formerly enslaved or free during the period 1863 to 65. That's who I'm talking about, sir. And he was like, oh, okay. Come to find out, he still didn't agree with reparations for us. I said, "Oh, do you like using curtain rods, ironing boards, gas masks, traffic lights? Like, do you like ranch dressing? Like, do you like all these things, sir? Because if you do, then you're enjoying the fruits of what my ancestors made. And maybe you should just stop using all that stuff. Do you like civil rights, sir? The
Right.
rights that give all everybody, I don't get it. I get it, but then I don't get it. Because at this point, like, fall in line with Ann Coulter. Even Ann Coulter says America only owes us.
Exactly. She gets it.
Right.
And culture gets it. And so I know a lot of them
Mailbox.
get it as well. A lot of
Uh,
them, they just say that we don't deserve it because they're anti-black. And that's what it boils down to. Not just anti-black, but anti-black Americans specifically.
that's
Hey,
crazy
good
to me.
morning, BX and the
Good
fam. How y'all
morning,
doing?
delineation.
Morning.
Basic.
Rise and shine. I hope
Yes.
y'all got y'all coffee. Make sure it's extra black, no cream, no sugar. Y'all know
Uh,
what the deal is. Y'all know what the deal is.
yes, I like hot chocolate
Okay, okay, okay,
with
okay, okay.
marshmallows though, so I can't have marshmallows.
Oh, it's gonna be a little beige. Nah, I'm walking my cat right now in the front yard. She acting up, so I'm trying to take her outside, get her some fresh air.
Ah,
No,
okay.
the cat dad saga continues.
Okay.
So what's up with these foreigners thinking that we don't need no reparations, but they wouldn't be over here in the United States if that wasn't the case, you know? It was our people that fought for all immigrants, not just the melanated ones. It was all immigrants to come over here since they want to talk all that all lives matter talk.
Mm,
But it's just something for them to think about. This is why the deportation people are all for it, especially on this side of the track. That's just my take on it, based off of what I was hearing.
yeah. Did you hear the Supreme Court issued a ruling that they're going to be double checking every application and everything better be straight as far as if they use the 14th Amendment as their basis, like anchor babies, the anchor baby people, their parents, their
They've been
applications.
doing that. Fruit
They've
of the
been doing it.
poisonous tree. No, they should have been doing that. It's the
Oh,
fruit of the
oh.
poisonous tree. So you got like the thing is, if they gotten ill-gotten gains through criminality, right? And then now they want to expand that. That's a problem. Because this is why they feel like they lawless when they come over here to America and do the things that they do. Because they say I already got away with lying on an application or two, federal and state, you know. So what will stop me from lying and doing other crimes that are more dangerous, you know, more brazen, I would say. So like yeah, I think that they should. I think that they should. This is how they got these international GANGs and all that other stuff going on that they got that's intercontinental, like with the Nietas, Latin Kings, MS-13s, Triads. All them guys is a problem, but they never get checked, and we wonder why they never get checked. It's just crazy to me. But they'll lift up the shirt of a young black brother because he got tattooed. Man,
Yeah,
man,
and
that really
HUD.
bothers me.
And they're reviewing HUD. So there's 2.3 million families who may have one parent that's not a citizen and one who is, but they're going to face eviction now.
Good. You know how many black homeless people on the street that can't get even a decent place to live? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, get them out of here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even getting into the college because they take up the grants, the scholarships. They like
Hmm.
these guys keep putting in for the Dr. Martin Luther King stuff, and they know that that really irks us. They know that.
Yeah.
They get out here, they changing the black student union around where it's useless now. We can't even push for the things that concern us and on our campuses, right? Because they
Yeah.
have diluted its true intentions and its true purposes. Like I had a Robert E. Lee mural at the school in the state of Connecticut. I had to get that removed. I had to keep it real with them. I was like, yo, I don't care what your rules say. I will come up there personally and discard it. So if y'all not gonna move it, I'm gonna move it and deal with the cost, and don't care what the cost may be. As soon as they saw how serious I was about that, then they want to move it a year later because I gave them a time clock. But this is the nonsense that I'm talking about, where it impacts the learning environment and stuff of that nature. My school trains the next, basically, quote unquote, cops of America. So you got a Robert E. Lee mural right in the foyer that a Chinese man, Robert E. What's his name? Henry Lee has at the Henry Lee Institute. If I didn't walk right past it and see and say something about it, that stuff would have still stayed up at that school. This is how I know that there's too many tethers and too many people who up there don't teach their children real history. Like, that's a problem. That should have been G-checked a long time ago. And it should not just take me to G-check it. It should have been the whole black student union. They got all the little boule, and they got the NAACP up in that school. See, this is the foolishness that I'll be seeing on these campuses, and this is how you get these little domestic school shooters, these white boys
Oh, you
that are
can't
crazy.
say that part. You
Oh, my
can't
bad,
say
my
the
bad, my
X
bad.
word.
That's why you got those domestic children, if you get what I mean. My bad, air quotes. My
Yeah.
bad, sorry about that.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
they're dangerous. They're dangerous.
Yeah.
They breed these type of individuals intellectually, and they justify that the same way that man was justifying. Stop that, cat. The same way they were justifying
Do you
that
have
we
bells
don't
on
need
your
no
cat?
reparations.
Do you have
Do I
bells
have what?
on your cat?
Oh yeah, I got little bells on her. Yeah, I got a bell on her. I got a bell on her, and she got a Right now I got a collar. We just walking around the front yard trying to get her used to walking with a leash. But I want to get that the two armed one with the Velcro joint. I want to get that soon.
Wait a minute.
That
I never heard. You're the first person I heard walk a cat. Like literally walk a cat.
I don't want to have they in Delaware. There's a lot of they consider cats a wild animal, right?
Uh-huh.
So that means anybody could just throw their cat outside and everything cool. I personally don't want my cat with the riffraff, right? And I don't want her to get roughed up. There's all types of animals in Delaware. So like, yeah, I'm a good cat dad. I spoil my critter. So we ain't just gonna just throw her out any type of way. She come back banged up and pregnant or whatever. No, we ain't doing that.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I take pride in taking care of my pet. So that's what we doing. I haven't taken her out in a while. So she been like acting a fool. So cat dad stuff.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
basically, she wants to get outside and go and roam the neighborhood for a little bit and then come back home.
Yeah, that's what we doing
Oh,
right
okay.
now. I've been taking her all around the house, so she been rubbing up because cats rub up against things to leave a scent on things. So she's
Yeah.
scent marking her different areas and stuff, and I take her like because there's dogs that live with me too, so we keep them separate, whatever. So like she got her little area when she roams. They got their area and territory. So she been good. She been dealing with the moving because cats don't like change either. So she's been dealing with different things. So taking her out, getting some fresh air is a good thing.
I hear you.
That's,
I'm telling people, get a cat. They cost less. They less maintenance. That's the reason why I got mine.
yeah. I got a dog and he's like getting old. He's a senior dog now. So,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah.
That's
Nah,
a hard time when they senior dogs, like,
he
because they
said,
go through a
yeah.
lot. They can't jump as high, and they want to jump high and all that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's sad.
He's in good shape for his age. He's 14, but he's in good shape for his age. Um, I just make sure I have like a bed like in different parts of the house. So that if he don't feel like going upstairs, he don't have to go upstairs. He can just lay in his bed down here. And I think the hardest part is that, he has to go outside to go use the bathroom, more frequently. You know what I'm saying? That's the hardest part. So that means that if I have to like go somewhere and I got to be gone for an extended period of time, I still have to like be mindful that I can't be gone for too long because I got this little furry guy that needs to get outside.
Oh, do you have a doggy flat for homie, or where he could fit through, or What's the deal with that? Like, because a lot of people had the doggy flaps.
Yeah, I don't have a doggy door. I need to try to figure out something for them. But I mean, I work from home, so I don't have to usually go anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, salute to you on that, man. That ain't easy to do. Work from home. Salute to you on that, man. They trying to stop that now these days.
I prefer it. I mean, yeah, in the federal government, and some of these different agencies that are state run and things like that, yeah, they're trying to put it into it. But my company, I think they found out they're saving money by people working from home. So they said we'll allow it.
That's what's up.
Basic, you
Salute
want
to
to
you, man.
jump in the conversation?
What's up, player? Too. I ain't acknowledge you. How you doing? Good morning, man.
Basically, what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody?
Yes,
How
Um,
are you? Hey, Nikki. Hey, Franklin. You
yeah,
got. Go ahead.
go
I'm
ahead,
gonna
BX.
go
Go
on
ahead,
mute
BX.
while you talk. No, I said, did you want to contribute to the conversation?
Yeah, I just jumped off of King Vegeta's panel, and BX, you said you were talking to a YT person.
Yeah.
See, I can't even do it. I'm almost to that point with the Africans. I don't even talk to YT people because it's just like it's really no point. It's like talk. It's literally like talking to a wall. Um, and I'm almost to that point with the Africans because they the same way. Is we've been having these conversations with these people for so long that it's just we getting the same replies and stuff. They don't even. I'm not even gonna say they don't understand. They just don't accept the reality of things and where they went wrong with us. They won't accept it because my thing is, if y'all were gonna leave y'all country and come over here, y'all are so dumb. Y'all should have just linked in with us. Y'all could have tapped in with us and built over here, and then that could have expanded into helping Africa. But y'all didn't do that, and now y'all looking stupid because moving forward, we're not including y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like these people they really upset about that. That's why they trying to claim us now. Because at first when they had the big head, they didn't want to claim Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? They was picking and choosing when we part of who they are and all this other stuff. We got videos and videos of Africans, whether they immigrants or on the continent, saying that we not even African. We we mixed breeds and all this other stuff that they used to say. But now it's a completely different thing. Now that Black Americans said, okay, cool, we moving on without y'all. And the reason why they are responding the way that they are is because these people don't want to have to work for anything that they get. They want to freeload. So they want to keep freeloading off of Black America. And now that Black America is saying, nah, we good. We just gonna look out for ourselves. Now they're panicking because their whole little thing is to come to America, benefit our Black Americans, and promote Black Americans going to Africa to help build a so-called motherland and all this other stuff that they not doing because these people leave their own people, don't do anything for them, don't move back, none of that. You know what I'm saying? And I think I saw something that says like 85% of them never go back to Africa once they get somewhere and make it. Like that's where they stay, but they want to like tell us, hey, we go back all the time and do this. No, they don't. These people are looking for an escape route out of Africa. That's what they don't want to be there. So I just don't like. I honestly don't like these people because they lie too much. They lie so much, and I try not to like what I'm saying generalize the whole continent because I do believe that there are good people on the continent, but at the same time they don't utilize their voice to dispel a lot of the things that this immigrant class is doing. Um, so that's all.
all facts, all facts. Yeah, they definitely did not claim us the way they claiming us now. Um, And Brian had was it Brian's live? Had a really good live about what happened to all that mess they were talking about, Black Americans being deported. They were talking a whole lot of mess, saying that we are just like them. Y'all are just like us. If we go, then y'all going. You know what I'm saying? It's like they didn't really try to align themselves with us and say that we're the same, until recently, honestly. And now they're seeing that we are not the same. Now they're seeing it, that is really true that we are not the same anyway. So they should have kept that original energy of I'm not black. I'm Nigerian. I'm not black. I'm Malian, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they should have kept that original energy and they tried to latch on and tether on to us recently in recent years, and they're seeing that we ain't the same, especially when it comes to the 14th Amendment protections. We are not the same.
That's true. So everything had the 14th, the Inca baby situation, a lot of things are getting reviewed. And it's like the more that we tell them to leave us alone, the more they decide not to, and the more they get a reality check. Or they may not even feel that it pertains to them for some reason. But somebody pointed out one of the biggest trolls, was it you, Dread, has certainly calmed down a bit.
Yep,
So,
we know what it is.
Yeah, can I chime in on some things? I'm gonna just talk about certain regions, like especially the UK type of people.
mhm.
Funded by a lot of these white tea people and in their government. So I'm looking at these are orchestrated governmental type of plans because and the reason why I'm going this angle is because I've been when I was on LinkedIn I've been arguing with this lady named Charmaine Simpson. No, she ain't a Negro. She ain't a Black American person. But this immigrant has a cosplaying Negro name, right? Black American name that was been rubbing me the wrong way. So she went off and said the people who were talking about the Garvey, what escalated is when she said the ancestors like Randolph, Ralph Randolph, I think, Rich or whatever his name, something Randolph, and a couple W.E.B. Du Bois and a couple others that had the Garvey Must Go campaign were agents. I had a problem with that, right? I was like, wait a minute here, sister. You don't even know, non-sister, my bad. I was like, you don't even know the history and the reasons why they were saying that the Garvey Must Go campaign even existed. And for you to say that these individuals were all agents when they have done things domestically here in the United States for Negro and Black American people, I got a problem with that. The misinformation. And then you say that you're a historian that gives you the right to speak on our history. This is some real dangerous stuff where people could be all the way across the pond and really affect the outcome globally of our stance of what we have done as a people. Like it's getting really ugly to me personally, and I don't like that any group of people can just speak freely about our community, and then when we push back about these things, oh, now it's a problem. No, we don't speak on you guys like that. If we do, it's from the positive. It's always been negative with these other demographics, and I'm just making an observation towards their behavior, even socially, and it has global ramifications. This is a global. This is on a global platform. This woman's saying that. So when I set my stuff back, what this is where you know that these Africans are in control of certain aspects of the social media. They waited a week to say that my post was approved, and with me chastising her, she blocked it where I can't even you can't see my messages. So these guys do shady things even within the corporate setting to advance negativity against our community. Like it's very and keep in mind, LinkedIn is a professional quote unquote social media platform that deals with you highlighting your knowledge that you have for you for future employment, etc., right? So you got people out there pumping misinformation and pumping things about our community, and they're not from the lineage. Like the same thing with on X, you got this person saying Africa African and Black American, and this person is talking about all Black American things. Like, and they're getting monetized for that. Like, why are they getting monetized for that and they're not from our community? These are just some of the things that I'm observing that I have a deep issue with, where it's intellectually dishonest and they're stealing from another community. So I just wanted to highlight those type of things with this, like this educational fraud scam that they pushing these days.
And what did you
I
say the lady's
I
name
agree with
was?
you. Hmm.
The cosplayer. What was her name?
It's several of them. There's one named Charmaine Simpson. She is
Charmaine.
on
That's
LinkedIn,
the name.
and then you also have the other person. They're African Americans or Black. Here, I got get over here, Raps. My bad. Thank you, Sister Kim. Yeah. All right. Wait, Rhapsody. Chill. Wait, give me a second. Okay, there we go. The other one is like African American, and then it has Black American history or something like that.
Yeah.
And these are foreigners. They got hundreds and thousands of views, and all day long they post things about Black American this, Black American that. They're not from the
Hi,
community.
Slim.
Yeah, that's
They're not
not
even
right.
from the.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they're getting like we're liking it because we seen, oh, this is our history being promoted, and we shouldn't support them, and it should be mass reported, if you ask me, as a form of misinformation. That's just my perspective on the situation, and they don't just do that on those type of, they even do it here on TikTok as well,
Yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
they only get their notoriety from talking about us, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Cosplaying has gotten, out of hand on TikTok. Like BX was saying earlier in the conversation, these people join these panels and they lead with, I'm Jamaican or I'm Trini or whatever. And then later on in the conversation, when they start to get the pushback that they get, and people are like, okay, well, the reason you think like that, we have to put it in context that you're West Indian, you're from,
Hi,
the Caribbean
Brian.
or whatnot. Then all of a sudden they say, oh, well, I do have one American parent, you know what I'm saying? And so we have a lot of cosplayers on TikTok that are starting to learn and adapt to, these panels. uh, they're seeing that they're getting pushback and that their point of view is based on their immigrant status. And then all of a sudden they'll switch up mid conversation. And then all of a sudden, oh, I'm half Black American too. You know what I mean? It's getting out of hand on TikTok, the
Wait,
cosplay.
before the brother go, I want to respond to Sister Nikki what she said about the Afeni lady, right? I don't like them when these individuals who are indifferent to the community take on aspects of our civil rights leaders or people who have done pivotal things in our community. No different from Little Nas X and Afeni. You could kind of put them in the same category because when you punch up Nas, Little Nas X is gonna come up in the algorithm. When you punch up Afeni, right? It's not Afeni Shakur and the Black Panthers that come up. It's that little weirdo woman from Washington D.C. And this is a form of like erasure that is being done socially to have our children not know the real history of our community. Like this is why it's important that we got to have our own library now, because they definitely trying to do game changers through social media and search engines. So I just want to just highlight and respond to what that sister Nikki said in the comments section, because she on point with that. I can't stand her either.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's a great point. It's a way of erasing um our people from the search engines, from history. It's a way of erasure for sure. Um, I agree 100%. There's a brother, a young brother, his name is Chase, and he went viral on Instagram posting Black American foundational Black American history on Instagram. And his page was called what was it called? Voice of Voice of the Ancestors. African went on Twitter and created a page called Voice of Our Ancestors and started, dropping historical videos and got a lot of clout and following based off of the brother Chase, the young brother Chase platform being having a similar name, you know, and it's that's a primary example of what they do. They're just like the colonizers. You know how the colonizers will steal our ideas and take things from us. We come up with something and they take it and try to use it and try to get riches and fame from it. They like who is that Marshall? They call them baby colonizers, baby YT. They I mean they're their apprentices. They're YT supremacy apprentices. They follow the exact same playbook.
I call them baby white tea.
Oh, was that you? Oh, that's you. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you,
Good.
BX.
Yeah. They everything is from the white tea old script. Hi Brian.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? Yeah,
Fine. Too.
I
You
agree
had a
with it.
great live yesterday.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna talk about the today. I'm gonna go about 11 or 12 or something. About 11 or 12 o'clock my time, and I want to just dive into the Democrats. And how and just doing a way where I'm gonna put on the top, even though I know they ain't gonna do it. But can you talk about Democrats without bringing up Trump? In a way like that. Like, let's not use Trump all the time because y'all always run to Trump when we have a disagreement about the Democratic Party. And it just and then I'm written down some few talking points about the Democrats that we need to watch out for because some of y'all brought some information yesterday. So I would love to see that. I would love to see. I want to see the Democrats come up and see what can they say to make me want to vote for them.
That ship has sailed. That ship has sailed for
Yep.
me. It has really sailed for me. I've been non-party registered as a non-party voter since 2016, and I think they did try to slip me back in with the Democrats, and I went and re-registered as a non-party voter, and I'm gonna stay there for a long time.
So yeah, we try to get the rest of our people from that plantation, man.
Yeah.
Cause it's I didn't realize they still holding on strong to them people, man. I was scrolling, I seen a couple people. I'm like, damn, this is sickening. This dude, I said, it's still black people believing this shit. And they think that we're Republicans, but we gonna vote for what's the best interest of us. You know what I'm saying? Like what makes sense. They both are people. You know what I mean? So we down the middle, independent, green, whatever you want to call it, whatever that's best for us. I'm happy we get to that point though. It's enough of us though.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta. Yeah, you hitting on a couple of things about these Democrats and their ideology, and I think that that's a good conversation, not for people to join, but to warn people about how they're moving and trying to mobilize, especially during the midterms, right? Unless they're not talking about our interests, we don't need to be supporting and or voting for them. They know what type of time it is. These individuals have specifically said, no, what are you going to do about it? And this, that, and the third. From Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, um, what's his name? What's his name? Clyburn. There's a whole list of these clowns that have said very disparaging things to our community. I think that they need to be removed. I really think that they need to be jailed because they're not even looking out the citizens in which and doing their job, right? We're the only people that like don't jail these politicians for engaging in the level of corruption that they're doing. And it's gonna come a day like that because I starting to see how Trump is moving on these judges and these different people when it comes to these immigrants in the ICE department, right? And them not backing the agenda. He's throwing them in jail. He's doing things to tarnish their reputation, and it's gonna take things like that to get them out of power, right? Those are just some of the things that I'm observing underneath the Trump years so far. And he got like 2 more years to go, right? He got like almost 2 years mark right now. So like I'm very interested to see who's going to take his place, both on both sides of the aisle. But I also want to see us create our own political scenarios where we don't even need these type of individuals. That's where I really want us to start backing that woman from the Redemption Party. Us really honing in and not dealing with the dominant society from the position that we've been dealing with them in. I really want to see us elevate as a people, as a collective.
uh who are, this is not Democrats, but who are people that's running right now that y'all see that is have FBA values? Do y'all see anyone? I know you named one, but are there any more?
Not that I see they're in like front running position per se. I know that like you got Reggie from AOS. I think you got certain people that are running, but it's like I don't know. Like I've been seeing. I don't like how they moving. Because like ADOS is talking about all immigrants. They talk about like Afro descendants. Like they really veered from what their true intention, and they're trying to use like delineation and disaggregation are two different things, right? Delineation is something that we control as a people on a social and as a self-preservation tactic, right? Disaggregation is something that the government is doing. They're relying more on the government to do the right thing, and I think that that's a problem. Instead of us doing the right thing for ourselves and then be the leaders in that. If you kind of get what it's like the tail, it's like the dog wagging the tail with that. If you get what I mean, and that's just some of the things I observe and I really question. You kind of get where I'm going at, brother Brian?
I think we're going to need the government to bend to our will at some point. So, so what is your pushback about them w- wanting the government um to make changes? What is your
It's not the
pushback?
government. It's not the government that's making change. It's the government leading the conversation.
You said
Like
that
they're
the
pushing
ADOS wants the
disaggregation.
government. So let me just make
No,
sure I got this. The ADOS wants the government to lead the conversation.
from my perspective, yeah. When they talk about disaggregation versus delineation, delineation is something from the grassroots coming from our people and what we're saying, right? We're saying that hey, we don't want these immigrants due to the fact this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. Disaggregation is saying, well, we want them to sign on this form, and this is good, and how the government collects data. That's two different perspectives on how we will want to separate ourselves from one group from another. Since when the government has ever did anything in the favor of our people? The answer is it's never. So why do we want to? I could understand it if there's a two-prong approach, but I'm putting more eggs with the people, not with the establishment and the government. You
Well,
kind
yeah,
of
we
see where I'm
want
coming
both.
from?
Here's the thing: we are fighting for disaggregation and delineation. Even as foundational Black Americans, we want both. We
They
want.
ADO, but ADOS doesn't want to have delineation. They just want to have disaggregation, and they're not the only ones who have talked crazy about. You also had Naheem that said something about delineation. It's a list of these individuals that are within those I would say the lineage-based community that has expressed concerns about what delineation or what their thoughts are delineation is, and
How
it
do you
has not
have
been from the
one?
positive.
How do you have one without the other? Maybe I'm just biased because I'm for both. So, but how do
Okay, so
they
that
propose?
I don't know. I just don't like them criminalizing or making people or demonize people who want us to be delineated, right? I look at delineation from a criminality perspective and self-preservation, and that's what I write about in my book. Like, hey, these guys are criminals. They engage in criminality. And this is the reason why they are dangerous in our community. This is why delineation should happen. I have no per se problem with disaggregation, but I don't really want the government, unless we're in charge in those roles or in those places, then I'll work with disaggregation all day because it's our people that are in those positions of authority. But when if it's just the white tea people and other people from who are not like us, I don't think that they're gonna do us any justice in regards to that. That's why I
No, I
think that
disagree.
delineation is stronger. You
I
kind of
disagree.
because it's,
Yeah, I
but
gotta
that's
push
just
back.
my.
Yeah,
What's your thoughts on that?
we gotta disaggregate the data. And worrying about whether or not people are gonna do right by the data. They don't do right by the data by adding in these immigrants to our
I
criminal
close the heart.
statistics. That's not doing right by the data, and that's what they're doing right now. When it comes to criminal statistics, you have, there was a Kenyan guy that was down here. He unalived probably 20 elderly white tea women. But guess what it looks like? There was a black serial unaliver, because the data has not been disaggregated. So he adds to
I,
our statistics, you know what I mean? We have to
no, I agree.
disaggregate
No,
and
no, no.
and uh
I
yeah,
agree
yeah,
with you on that
disaggregation.
part.
Yeah, you can't
I,
worry about whether or not because they already doing wrong by not disaggregating data.
I would prefer that we collect our own data. Like that. That's where I really want us to. Like, I don't want us to rely. We need to tell them cut a check. We have our own agencies. We will collect the information and then we'll put it back. I don't trust that they're gonna do us any justice based off the historical grievances that they have done to us. That's
Well,
just
you would still
my
have to go to
positionality.
these you still have to go to these government funded entities such as, the FBI. You still have to go to the police departments to find out who these people are that were arrested for certain crimes anyway. So you're still getting the information from those people. So what's the difference?
I hear what you're saying. Like, have you ever checked out blackdemographics.com?
Yeah, I hear you, but they're getting those statistics from the same sources as well.
Some of it is, but we need to from my perspective is we need to build our own institutions, have the government fund those type of things so that we can no different from the what they call the Indian Bureau of Affairs and different things that collect data on behalf of them. That's just kind of where, because I have a strong distrust for what they have done to our community. Like, I don't think that they're gonna ever do us right, ever represent us right. And if that's the case, what are the ways that we're going to ensure that we can do right by ourselves and make sure that we represent ourselves correctly? That's where I'm more or less getting at. Why everybody jumping off the panel? All right.
Brian only stays for a little while anyway. But I'm
Yeah,
Okay.
listening. Dred is listening until he got to go to work.
yeah.
But I do understand where you're coming from, brother, Kingpin. I do definitely understand exactly what you're saying. I just I would prefer that we have our own government. That's where I really want us to push to be very independent, away from the powers that be.
Can the
That's why I have
police?
the position. Yes,
Can
what
the
you say?
police? I'm sorry. Can the police and them report to any the age? Say we have a Freedmen's Bureau, right? Say we get that established, and we have a department that's going to collect our data. Can the police? Are they within legal means, able to report whatever statistics we're asking for to our department in the Freedmen's Bureau?
Yeah, it should if it's a federal, from my perspective. Like, I'm not
So,
really for the Freedman thing, but I could understand that that would be a good look.
what are you for? Now tell me,
I'm
why aren't you
okay.
for the Freedmen's thing?
Because the Freedmen Bureau never, from its inception, never helped our people out. Extorted our people. They need to pay back what was ripped off from those people that participated in the Freedmen's Bureau. First of all, so there's reparations that's in regards to that and to that aspect alone. Then there was exploitation where they were written out our brothers and sisters like farm tools, but they didn't get properly compensated. There were white tea people that were in charge of it. So I look at it as a form of an integrationist institution more than it's an institution for itself that stands alone. And that's kind of my I'm against integration, like in the guise of all aspects. So I
It
look at
sounds
it
like
as,
you're
as an
talking about.
integrationist.
Let
It
me
sounds
say
like you're
this
talking about
before
the
my
Freedmen's
son
Bank
texts.
versus the
Let me say
Freedmen's
this, Stretch.
Bureau. All right,
Let
go
me
ahead.
say this. When I say Freedmen's Bureau, I understand all of that. But in modern days time, I think it would be foolish if we expected anybody else to run it but those of the lineage. And even they got to be heavily vetted. So, I mean, Freedmen's Bureau in the sense that we govern it, we manage it, we call all the shots in it, and we are employed in it. That's what I mean. All Black American everything. And I know you like the term Negro. All Negro everything, and not the
No, no,
Spanish.
that would be cool. But I was looking more or less at the rollout of the Freedmen's Bureau Bank thing that happened underneath the Kamala Harris. There were more foreign individuals that were opening the books, seeing things that were going on, and that was very detrimental to our community overall. And
Right.
so when I
Because
see
now
the
the
rollout
AG
of
wants
these
to take
type of
it.
things, I think that we're better off building our own institutions that are lineage based, and then drawing up the Constitution instead of relying on things that have already kind of failed us.
Right.
If you get what I mean,
Yeah.
that's where I'm kind of. That's why I have the positionality that I have. I want us to be creative. We have enough political imagination and social awareness when it comes to policies to actually create and something that will be more in our favor versus something that did not yield those type of results in the past. That's why I kind of have that bias,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I think there's a mix up with
Okay, I
in the
understand.
terminology. The Freedmen's Bureau versus the Freedmen's Bank. The Freedmen's Bureau was created during the Lincoln presidency, and what he did for the Freedmen's Bureau is he took funding that was allotted for freedmen, and essentially it was up for a vote. And
I'm
so when he
listening, but I
became
gotta
president,
go text my
the
son real.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we're here. So he moved the funding for the Freedmen's Bureau under the military budget, so when it was passed, that way the funding would remain and continue going on. And that money, some of that money, a lot of that money was used towards making and building HBCUs. That's the Freedmen's Bureau. And it sounds like you're mixing up the Freedmen's Bureau versus Freedmen's Bank. So, but I get what you're saying. The Freedmen's Bank, a lot of people who put money into that bank, the funds were mishandled. I think that's what you're getting at.
Yeah,
Am I
well,
right?
it's just the fact that the dominant society has their hooks in it, in any aspect of it. That is the problem with me, personally. Like, I don't want them to be involved in our day-to-day activities when it comes to our institution because it violates what would be the what repair and reparations would look like because you have to guarantee that the harms won't happen again. The harms can repeat itself if these individuals are still operating in our space, and that's kind of the um my concerns. I don't want them. I'm really about delineation to the max. I don't want them within 100 yards of us, type of thing. That's kind of the extremities that I really will want to get kind of implemented.
So
If
it
you get what
sounds
I
like
mean.
you want a nation within a nation. You don't just want
Oh,
delineation from for our specific ethnic group. but you want our specific ethnic group to have a nation within a nation, have our own governments, and essentially run the way that the Native Americans function
1 minute. They
there.
flagging me for hate speech, and they said one more offense, and they'll discontinue the live. Let's get
Okay.
final words in, and we're gonna cut up
Yeah,
on
sorry.
somebody else's panel. They are really, yeah.
I'm sorry about that, sister. I didn't mean to. Yeah, this is the reason why I don't I don't talk about that, man. I'm sorry, man. I feel
It's
bad.
okay.
Yeah. I didn't mean to get you in trouble, BX. That ain't my move, man.
Mhm.
My final word is this. Delineate